Samsung is preparing for one of its most confident smartphone launches yet. The Galaxy S26 series is at the heart of Samsung's big 2026 plan, and the company's goals show just how much faith it has in its next flagship lineup, despite months of rumors about cancelled models. Design tweaks and chipset debates, Samsung remains completely focused. The company expects the Galaxy S26 series to perform better than ever, setting an ambitious target of selling around 35 million units next year. This includes the Galaxy S26, S26 Plus, and S26 Ultra, with possible additions like the S26 Edge and S26 Fade joining later. According to Samsung's annual outlook report for its mobile division, the company aims to sell a total of 240 million smartphones globally in 2026, if achieved. This could bring in more than $90 billion in revenue from its mobile business alone. Clearly, Samsung sees the S26 lineup as the foundation for this success. To put things in perspective, the Galaxy S25 series sold around 22 million units in just the first half of 2025. Samsung now hopes the S26 will surpass that figure by at least 2 million more in the same timeframe. The company's steady year-over-year growth shows that its strategy is working, and it's not just about the S-series. Samsung also plans to ship about 5 million foldable devices in 2026, including the Galaxy Z Fold 8 and Z Flip 8, which are expected to launch mid-year. Additionally, the company is aiming to sell roughly 27 million Galaxy Tab tablets, rounding out its product ecosystem for the year, even though the report doesn't break down sales expectations for each S26 model. One thing is almost certain: the Galaxy S26 Ultra will lead the lineup, just like in previous years. But why is Samsung so confident about this series? The answer lies in its track record. The Galaxy S24 series sold over 37 million units worldwide, marking an impressive 18% increase compared to the S23 lineup. The S25 is already off to a strong start, crossing 22 million units in just 6 months. This consistent performance makes Samsung's expectations for the S26 not just bold, but logical. When it comes to design and features, the Galaxy S26 lineup isn't expected to bring massive changes. Instead, Samsung appears to be focusing on refining what already works. Minor camera upgrades, slightly faster performance, and better efficiency might sound modest, but these are the kinds of updates that keep everyday users happy. It's a strategy built on reliability and trust, something Samsung believes will keep its loyal base satisfied while attracting new users. In fact, this approach mirrors what Apple has been doing for years: consistent, steady improvements instead of risky overhauls. Both companies seem to know that predictable upgrades are better than big gambles that might backfire. Of course, not everyone agrees. Some tech fans argue that Samsung should take bigger risks to make its phones more exciting. But given the company's growing sales numbers, its cautious strategy seems to be paying off. Samsung's logic is simple: when something works, refine it, don't replace it. Now, one of the biggest topics surrounding the Galaxy S26 series is its chipset. Earlier reports suggested that Samsung wants to bring back its own Exynos processors after relying solely on Qualcomm's Snapdragon chips for the Galaxy S25 lineup. The new Exynos 2600 is reportedly ready to make a comeback in the S26 series. However, confusion began when Qualcomm CEO Cristiano Amon commented during the company's Q4 2025 earnings call that Qualcomm assumes a 75% share of Samsung's flagship devices. Some interpreted this as confirmation that the Galaxy S26 would again be powered mostly by Snapdragon chips, but that's not exactly the case. Qualcomm's statement was based on an assumption, not a confirmation. The company can only estimate based on past trends and doesn't have direct insight into Samsung's final plans. So, while Qualcomm expects to remain a major supplier, Samsung is still expected to use the Exynos 2600 in select regions, continuing its dual-chip strategy. In short, Qualcomm's comments didn't kill the Exynos plans for the S26 series, they just reflected the company's baseline assumption. Samsung, on the other hand, seems determined to bring its in-house chips back into the spotlight, at least in some markets. Altogether, Samsung's 2026 plan shows a company with strong momentum and a clear vision. The Galaxy S26 series isn't about reinventing the wheel, it's about strengthening a formula that has already proven successful. With steady growth, consistent sales, and a renewed focus on self-reliance through Exynos, Samsung's confidence in its next flagship lineup looks well justified. If everything goes according to plan, 2026 could easily become one of Samsung's most profitable years yet. powered by the Galaxy S26 lineup that blends performance, reliability, and trust, all the ingredients that have kept Samsung at the top of the Android world for over a decade.